Myanmar, Burmese pronunciation, Myanmar, officially the Republic of the Union of Myanmar and also known as Burma, is a sovereign state in Southeast Asia bordered by Bangladesh, India, China, Laos and Thailand. One-third of Myanmar's total perimeter of 1,930 kilometers forms an uninterrupted coastline along the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea. The country's 2014 census revealed a much lower population than expected, with 51 million people recorded. Myanmar is 676,578 square kilometers in size. Its capital city is Naypyidaw and its largest city is Yangon. Early civilizations in Myanmar included the Tibeto-Burman-speaking Pyu city-states in Upper Burma and the Hmong kingdoms in Lower Burma. In the 9th century, the Bamar people entered the Upper Irrawaddy Valley, following the establishment of the pagan kingdom in the 1050s. The Burmese language, culture and Theravada Buddhism slowly became dominant in the country. The pagan kingdom fell due to the Mongol invasions and several warring states emerged. In the 16th century, reunified by the Taungoo dynasty, the country was for a brief period the largest empire in the history of Southeast Asia. The early 19th century Konbaum dynasty ruled over an area that included modern Myanmar and briefly controlled Manipur and Assam as well. The British conquered Myanmar after 3 Anglo-Burmese wars in the 19th century and the country became a British colony. Myanmar became an independent nation in 1948, initially as a democratic nation and then, following a coup d'état in 1962, a military dictatorship. While the military dictatorship formally ended in 2011, most of the party leaders are former military officers. For most of its independent years, the country has been engrossed in rampant ethnic strife and Burma's myriad ethnic groups have been involved in one of the world's longest-running, ongoing civil wars. During this time, the United Nations and several other organizations have reported consistent and systematic human rights violations in the country. In 2011, the military junta was officially dissolved following a 2010 general election, and a nominally civilian government was installed, while former military leaders still wield enormous power in the country. Burmese military have taken steps toward relinquishing control of the government. This, along with the release of Aung San Suu Kyi and political prisoners, has improved the country's human rights record and foreign relations, and has led to the easing of trade and other economic sanctions. Myanmar is a country rich in jade and gems, oil, natural gas and other mineral resources. In 2013, its GDP stood at $56.7 billion and its GDP at $221.5 billion. The income gap in Myanmar is among the widest in the world, as a large proportion of the economy is controlled by supporters of the former military government. As of 2013, according to the Human Development Index, Myanmar had a low level of human development, ranking 150 out of 187 countries. Etymology. In 1989, the military government officially changed the English translations of many names dating back to Burma's colonial period or earlier, including that of the country itself. Burma became Myanmar. The renaming remains a contested issue. Many political and ethnic opposition groups and countries continue to use Burma because they do not recognize the legitimacy of the ruling military government or its authority to rename the country. The country's official full name is the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. Countries that do not officially recognize that name use the long form, Union of Burma, instead. In English, the country is popularly known as either Burma or Myanmar, IMJNMR. Both these names are derived from the name of the majority Burmese Bamar ethnic group. Depending on the register used, the pronunciation would be Burma or Myanmar. The name Burma has been in use in English since the 18th century. Burma continues to be used in English by the governments of many countries, such as Australia and Canada. Official United States policy retains Burma as the country's name, although the State Department's website lists the country as Burma, and Barack Obama has referred to the country by both names. The United Kingdom uses both Burma and Myanmar in various sources. The Czech Republic uses officially Myanmar, although Ministry of Foreign Affairs mentions both Myanmar and Burma on its website. The United Nations uses Myanmar, as do the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Russia, Germany, China, India, Norway, and Japan. Most English-speaking international news media officially refer to the country by the name Myanmar, including the BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, Reuters, and RT. Myanmar is known as Birmania in Spanish, Italian and Romanian, Birmania being the Spanish version of Burma. Myanmar used to be known as Birmania in Portuguese, and as Birmanie in French. Brazil, Portugal and other Portuguese-speaking countries, as well as France and other French-speaking countries, now use mainly Myanmar.